Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining me today. We are going to discuss the law of attraction and we're going to discuss spiritual guidance for healing. Of course, the law of attraction plays a role in this, and so we will mention the law of attraction, but our main focus for today is spiritual guidance for healing. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you can hear me down there, if I need to adjust the volume some, or if you have any questions, go ahead and place that in the chat box and I will answer as soon as I can. If not, I will answer after the end of this webinar. Okay, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you again for joining me. So today we're going to talk about what is spiritual guidance, the importance of spiritual guidance, and the signs and examples of spiritual guidance, how spiritual guides help in the healing process, and your unique healing, okay? Your unique perspective of healing and how it relates to you and only you, okay? And we're also going to discuss a few more topics. This is me in Sedona, and I have this ball of energy around me. Of course, that's graphically made, but the essence of the story is telling is that I am a strong proponent of a connection to the spiritual nature, the non-physical, whatever you call your spiritual guide, be it God, angels, source, the universe, whatever that is for you, it doesn't matter, but we're all connected to the non-physical. So it is my passion and my mission to teach others how to awaken to their own innate power, and spiritual guidance is a part of that. You can read a little bit more about my background here, but we have a lot to cover today, so let's go ahead and get started. So what is spirit? If you go to a typical website definition of spirit, you'll get a lot of different definitions. Okay, some are more, I guess, in line with our teachings, and some are kind of a little bit fearful. So let's give you a few examples of dictionary definitions. The non-physical part of a person that is the seat of emotional and character, the soul. The non-physical part of a person regarded as a person's true self and is capable of surviving physical death or separation. They also describe spirit as an animating or vital principle held to give life to physical organisms, a supernatural being or essence, such as the Holy Spirit, the soul. And what some people relate to the spirit as being a malevolent being, like a ghost, okay? And they use ghost and malevolent in the same definition, which sometimes scares people when they think about the spirit, but we're all connected to the non-physical, and there's really no need to be scared. And we will give you guidance on, connecting to that which is a higher source, what we call a higher vibrating non-physical entity that we're all connected to, okay? So our definition of spirit involves a non-physical self that is of a higher vibration than the physical body and communicates to the physical self through various means. There are different levels of spirit, the inner spirit, and other non-physical beings. So that's kind of how we characterize spirit. Okay, it's not in a malevolent way. We're focused on the spirit of the highest vibration, of non-physical of the highest vibration. Okay. Your definition of spirit will be based on your beliefs and influences, such as your family, your society, and your own personal beliefs that you developed over the years. So your definition determines how you think about the term spiritual guides, inner guides, angels, God, providence. Everyone has their own unique definition of what spirit means to them. So in our teachings, we cast a net so that it encompasses any and everyone, because it really doesn't matter how you define your spirit. It only matters that you connect to this spirit, okay, and connect to your true self and get in tune with that, and that will help guide you through this maze of what we call life. So, what is spiritual guidance? Spiritual guidance is guidance from the non-physical. It is guidance beyond the ego and the logical mind or the intellectual mind. It's beyond that, okay? It is really a true connection to the non-physical. And it really, again, like we said, it doesn't matter what you call your spirit. Now, there is a difference between spiritual guidance and fear-based guidance, okay? This is a creative vibrational universe. As we discussed, we're going to mention the law of attraction in here a little bit. So in this creative vibrational universe, you attract to you based on your vibrational level. So if you are afraid, let's use the example of healing, okay? So you're confused, you're afraid about your diagnosis, you're not really sure what's out there, but you're resisting guidance from your non-physical, from your spirit, okay? Then you're going to be guided to information that may not even be relevant to you, that may be relevant to someone else, but is not necessarily of your highest good, okay? And so it is necessary to really develop that relationship with your spiritual guides so you understand the messages that your spiritual guides are giving to you, so there's no confusion on what you're being led to do as far as your healing or as far as anything that you're trying to manifest. And what I do advise people is to really just be patient with the process. Many people, when they come to me, they really want to like be able to have this one-on-one, just, conversation with their spiritual guides right in the beginning. And it really does take time to develop. It takes, years to develop, okay? It doesn't have to necessarily take years for you to have your first sign, your first really clear sign from your spirit that they're communicating with you. But it really does take time for you to really get the nuances of it and how they communicate with you, because they're going to communicate to everyone differently, and you're going to understand it and interpret it differently, okay? And so it's really just mastering that art of it. That's the beauty of it, but it does take time. And I do want to point out that your non-physical spirits, your spiritual guides, have been communicating to you from the beginning. So it's not like you've never been communicated with, but you may not realize it, or you may not have developed a really strong communication where it can take you to that next level in your spiritual journey. So there's really more than one path. So this is where we really are a strong proponent of spiritual guidance, because there is more than one path to healing. There's no single healing path for everyone. Okay, so there's many modes of healing modalities that were developed to accommodate the many belief systems. So this is like the law of attraction in action. So different people have different belief systems, and so they have created all these systems, all these, let's say, for example, these weight loss systems that's going to help you. These diet plans are going to, help you do. There's so many different diet plans. There's so many different nutritional options. There's so many exercise programs. There's so many ways to meditate. All these things are different ways of healing, but it can get confusing because it's everyone's different perspective. So who do you believe? Who do you follow? So again, this is why we are a proponent of spiritual guidance, because your path to healing will be uniquely your own and will be based on the reality you have created and your ability to trust, allow, and open to whatever healing modality you choose, okay? So your healing is unique and unique to you. And it really, in order to just let that unfold, it is important to have that spiritual guidance, because your non-physical really has a perspective that is different from the physical. It's not intellectual in its sense. It is that of the highest vibration of love. It is they know what you've created in your reality. They know what is the best for you that you don't necessarily know, because we're constantly in a state where we're trying to tell the universe or source what we need in order to heal, stepping back and allowing and trusting that we will be guided to what is needed. So say, for instance, we're like, oh, I know it's my liver that needs healing. Well, yeah, what if it is your liver? But what if it is also your kidneys that need healing as well? What if, your heart chakra is also blocked? All these things. So instead of intellectually telling source what you need, it is a good idea to step back and ask for guidance on what you need in order to heal for you, because what you need is what is going to be different from someone else. You may be both exhibiting the same symptoms, however, your needs are going to be different than someone else's, because your realities are different and you're two separate people. Even if you're say, for instance, you're twins, it really doesn't matter. Okay. So you have been raised to rely on others to make decisions regarding your life. Your teachers, your doctors, your parents, everyone else has been the person whom you've been taught to go to rely on what's best for you. And so what we're doing is we're challenging you to actually go to the non-physical in order to get guidance, okay? That higher source of guidance. So this doesn't mean that you will never need the assistance of anyone else. Like, you'll never go to a professional or anything like that. That is totally not what we're advocating. What we're advocating is that you understand your role in the healing process and you learn to trust in the perspective of your source. So later on in this webinar, I'll give an example of this occurring where you ask for spiritual guidance, you get it, and then it comes to a point where you have to make a decision. Do you follow your spiritual guides, or do you follow the advice of someone in physical, a doctor in this particular example? So hold on for that in that example. Okay. Spiritual guidance comes in many forms. Okay. Your source has been giving you guidance your entire life, as we've stated before. This is not something that is new, a new perspective. The issue with most people is that they don't really understand it, or they really haven't developed a trust in it. Normally what happens is that when you're a child, you're really in tune with your source, your spiritual guidance, you're just innately, you just know. Children just are so much more connected. But then over time, you are taught by society, by your parents, by the school system, by your environment, you're taught to start relying on more of the intellectual mind than you are your inner guide or your source. Okay, because especially in Western societies, and I would say here in the United States, the intellectual mind is very prized here, way more so than any kind of spiritual kind of reliance is thought of as less than that of the intellectual mind. But we're here to tell you that it is not. That source knows way more than the human mind could ever embrace. Okay, our mind cannot even hold the concept of who we are. So in that essence, okay, your source knows the best path for you for healing, and it's really a matter up to you whether or not you're going to embrace that and start the healing process from a higher vibration. So the basic spiritual guides is feelings. Feelings are the most intimate form of guidance that we've all been given from the beginning. Like, we're all been communicated through feelings. It really is a very intimate kind of relationship. Your feelings are vibrations. Okay, and your feelings are based on your thoughts. They're mostly based on your subconscious thoughts, because your subconscious thoughts are really what's creating a majority of what you're seeing on a regular basis. So what your feelings do, your feelings are, so like, say for instance, I had this thought about, oh, this is not really going to turn out right. And I get this feeling like, oh, I just feel really bad about that. So what that is, my source just communicated to me that that's out of alignment with what is actually going to manifest, what it is actually that I want or who I am. So I just got this like really, I felt it physically throughout my body. I just felt it right then, just even giving this example, I felt really bad about it. But let's say I have a thought that says, oh, wow, this webinar is going to really captivate people and they're really going to understand it. It feels really, really good to me. So I know that my source is saying, yes, you are in alignment with what you are manifesting, with who you are. Okay, you're standing in your power. So there's really a very intimate kind of relationship. The major issue with feelings, though, is that most people aren't really in tune with their feelings. They don't really know when they're feeling bad, when they're feeling good, because you've experienced so many years of not recognizing this, of not knowing, and not to mention that you're taught differently. You're taught to rely on the intellectual mind. So you're always in your mind, but you're not really grounded in your body and listening to the signs that your body is giving you. So let's say when you have your stomach is aching, okay? There was a thought about something. Say you wanted to eat something, and then but you really start feeling very nauseous. That's a sign that that's not, a good food for you to eat. But you don't understand that sign. You equate that sign to something else that society has told you that nausea or other symptoms of the body are associated with. So you don't understand. You're like, oh, well, that must mean that. So you disregard it, and then you just go about and do whatever it is that you were going to do. Okay, so there are very intimate signs that your spirit, your sources, has been always giving you. Okay? Now, are there any questions up to this point? All right. I don't see any questions out there, so I'm going to go ahead and keep on going. So, and it is really important to get in tune with your feelings so that you do understand your signs. Again, feelings are very important. Not using feelings is one of the key mistakes in applying the law of attraction. I find that with many of my clients is that they don't understand that when they're feeling bad, then they're out of alignment. So they think they're doing all these techniques to manifest whatever they're trying to manifest, be it health or, abundance, whatever it is. But they aren't recognizing when they aren't following the feelings, basically the spiritual guidance that they've been given. Okay? It's, again, the most intimate form of communication, and it is a form of communication. It's from your spirit. All right, so here is an example of spiritual guidance. So, asking your spiritual guides to give you tips on what you can do every day. Okay, so you set out, let's say, right before your meditation, and of course we're assuming that you're meditating every day, right? And so you ask, right before meditation, you say, okay, source, God, whatever your source is, okay, please give me guidance on what I can do today to heal, okay? And then you wait for the answer, patiently wait. It can come through the meditation, or it can come after the meditation. It can come from other people. It can come from many sources. You get the answer, and you place this on your vision board. If you follow me, you understand the vision board is a very important factor in learning to retrain your subconscious mind to manifest that what you want. So, again, we place this on the vision board, and you're asking this every day. You're asking your spiritual guides every day. What can I do? Tips on what I can do every day. Okay. as you receive guidance from your spiritual guides, you begin to develop trust in that guidance. So you're like, oh wow, so they told me this today. All right, I put that on my vision board. This is awesome. This is something I could do every day. They told me I should meditate every day. All right, I've been meditating, but it hasn't been every day. Now I'm going to start meditating every day. You ask the question again, what can I do every day? Then they say laugh. You need to laugh more because you're way too serious, okay? And so you're like, oh, wow, I'm really getting guidance here, okay? And again, that information can come from various means, all right? You just have to be patient and open to however it happens to you, okay? Now we have another example of spiritual guidance, a little bit more detailed than that. So in this example, again, it's before meditation. And let's say, again, this is all examples. We're going to say you start with this statement. And the way this is written, it's really written as if you're talking to your best friend, okay? So you can think of your spiritual guides as your best friend in the non-physical realm. Okay, it doesn't have to be so formal, whatever it is, it can just be like you're talking to your buddy, okay? I'm always saying statements like, dude, what's up? I didn't understand this, please help me, what's going on? It's never really that formal, my conversation with my spiritual guides, hardly ever. Okay, so you can start off with a statement like this. I would like help in my healing process, but need direction on who to trust. I have had treatments in such and such and such, whatever your treatments are, but these have left me feeling miserable and hopeless. I do want to believe that I can heal, but I need help. Please show me who can help me in the next stage of my healing. Please make it obvious to me that this is from you. Show me a sign that only I would recognize is from you. In the meantime, I will do my best to let go and trust in this process. Please help me along the way. Thank you, Source. Okay, and that's just an example of how things could be said. That's, maybe more formal than you may like it. So, make it your own process. So you let go and you allow the process to unfold. You can get a response during your meditation, but you can also get a response after the meditation. Be open to different avenues of receiving the message. For instance, the message could come from a family member, a friend, a coworker, from a book you are inspired to read, from an ad you see in a magazine, or from a multitude of avenues. As you develop your relationship more and more with your spiritual guides, it will come more and more. You'll get the answers more and more actually from within, okay? It won't necessarily always be outside of you. But in the beginning, it's definitely easier for Source to communicate with you through external options, okay? It's just a much easier process, okay? All right, so we're going to move on to keep on with this example. Okay, so then, now let's say you get another message that confirms you're being led. Actually, hold on for a second. I need to go back to the other slide because there's some information on there that is pretty important that I do want to point out. So I'm going to go back. Let's see. All right, so there we go. All right, so it's common in the beginning to second guess the answers that come from spiritual guidance. In actuality, especially in the beginning of your spiritual guidance, is that in your heart the answer is from Source. But like you get this feeling like, wow, I know this is from Source, but then you let the intellectual mind takes over. Okay, so the thought that it's from Source could be like a few seconds or even minutes. Then your intellectual mind takes over. When this happens, you start to question the guidance. Very common in the beginning to question this. You may have heard this more like the intuition kind of aspect. You're like, oh wow, I really know I should act this way. But then you're like, really? Was that Source? Was it not? So what you can do to help bring more clarity is to write down your experience in your spiritual journal. Write down the message you received, and then also write down the doubts you had. Okay, so you're tracking your progress on this whole journey. Then you can ask for further clarification from your source. Source, I felt you answered my response by leading me to this naturopathic doctor. However, now I am questioning myself. I am not sure if this guidance is from you or based on fear. Please give me additional signs and clarity on this decision. Okay, so again, you're asking for further clarification from your spiritual guides. Okay, was this really from you? Okay, so then, let's see, hold on. All right, there we go. Now I'm back on track. Okay, so then you receive a response that confirms seeing a naturopathic doctor. Okay, you go to the doctor and you're feeling very confident in your direction because you know this is from source. You follow their treatment plan and are starting to get results. Now, let's say that during one of your meetings with your doctor, they suggest something that doesn't quite feel right to you. You listen to their advice, but you inform them that you need more time to consider it. You then ask Source to give you guidance on one of their treatment plans. Source, I felt a queasiness in my stomach when the doctor suggested this treatment. I know that feeling bad means there is resistance and my thoughts are out of alignment. I am unclear, however, if it was my fearful thought about the treatment that was out of alignment or my thought that doing this treatment was going to help me. I had so many thoughts in my head as the doctor was speaking that I just need more clarity. Please let me know if this treatment is good for me. Thank you. Okay? So you write this in your spiritual journal and you wait for a response. You get an answer and it's clear and you understand it and there's no need to doubt it, but you get an answer that you should do another treatment. So either your doctor will be in alignment with this or not. The choice is yours on what to do next. Now, do you continue to follow the advice of your doctor or do you trust in your source? We really can't answer that question for you. The choice is up to you, okay? Of course, as we have presented it in the example, is clear and obvious what you should do. You trust your source, all this, but in reality, in society, because of people's individual strengths, their trust, their beliefs, and what they've been trained to do as far as listening to authority figures will all play a role in what decision they make. And this happens all the time, really, in conventional medicine, where people are afraid to speak up, even when they feel like a treatment that's given by their MD, and they're like, wow, that really doesn't feel right. Intuitively, it feels bad, but they're so fearful that they don't know anything about health. The doctors know best, all of these things, that they don't really follow that instinctual guidance, that they should actually move on to something else, okay? But again, this is an example of how powerful spiritual guidance can be for healing and how it can lead you on the road for your individual path for healing. So, just because you're led to this doctor doesn't mean that everything that the doctor does is going to be in alignment with you. That's why you control your destiny and what you're creating. You weave and wave your way out of different, I guess, healing modalities, for lack of a better way of saying it. So maybe you're advised to go do some herbal medicine. Or maybe you're even advised to ask your doctor if they can, maybe this treatment is better. Maybe they'll be more in alignment with that. One never knows. These are all just examples of how spiritual guidance can lead you on your journey to healing. Okay? Other examples of spiritual guidance, again, ask you to send you to the right medical professional who will help you in your healing process. Asking for spiritual practices you can do to improve your health. Asking for the right foods for you, okay? So, instead of necessarily following someone else's diet plan, ask for guidance. You can do this slowly, not like one big old swoop. Okay, so this week, source, please give me, 3 foods that are good for me that I need to eat right now, okay? Or you can even just say 1 to make it easier in the beginning. And then, for this week, you get the sign, you wait for the answer, you get it, and then you just start incorporating that into your diet. And then the next week, you're like, okay, what's another food that I can add to this that's good for me to eat. Okay, and then again, you're getting in tune with the messages, you're getting in tune with the guidance, and then over time, you're going to build this food plan that's really just for you and only you and your healing. And then you're also going to understand when you need to maneuver beyond this particular. Maybe say 2 months into your diet that you've been led to, maybe you need more turmeric in your diet, for a week or so. Who knows? And so you just, you're led to just do that, but you're only led to do it for a little bit of time. You're not led to do it for, for the rest of your life. Or, some people say, oh, this is such a great superfood. And so they want to do it like every day. And, yeah, I suppose that's one way to do it. I guess there's no wrongs or right. Actually, there is no wrongs or right. It's just choices. A higher vibrational choice would be to follow the guidance of your spirits. Okay, and another example is asking your spiritual guides what you do next. Show me the way. You don't really know right now. You're like, I have no idea what I need to do. Please show me the way. Okay, you will receive an answer. The key really is just to be patient. Okay, trust, allow the answers to come to you. Okay, so it's, while none of us can ever be disconnected to our source, is innately we're connected, we can get to the point where the connection is so weak that it's really, it just takes time to build your trust and to build a relationship with your spiritual guide. So just, be patient for the answers. Okay, and as we said in the example, we gave clarification we gave examples of getting clarification. So if you're confused, you're not understanding, get clarification. Okay, focus on receiving an answer. Okay, as always, law of attraction principle. If you're focusing on the fact that you're not getting an answer, what's going to happen? You're not going to get an answer. If you focus on not understanding the answer, what's going to happen? You're not going to understand the answer. So you need to focus on that you understand the answer. If you need to put that on your vision board, I clearly understand my source. Put it on there. That way you're seeing it every day and you're retraining your mind to believe that you have this strong connection to your spiritual guides. And then over time, guess what? You're going to have that connection. Okay? Make sure you write down your responses in a spiritual journal, because that is very important in any spiritual journey. Okay? Write it down, because you need to document your progress, and you need to understand when you've been given answers and what the answers are, so you don't forget. All these things, all these factors play a role in your evolving spiritually. Now, of course, there's always help out there for you in getting spiritual guidance. Seek assistance if you need that help to strengthen your connection to source. And then when you have developed such a strong connection to your source, then you've become independent. You start relying more on yourself. That's the essence of the seek within you. Seek within you for the answers that you seek. Of course, there's always help to help you seek within yourself. Develop that relationship with your spiritual guides, and then you can do it on your own. There's always help. And of course, we do offer spiritual counseling help. Okay, we say more spiritual coaching. Okay, so now in review of what we have covered today, we have covered spirits are non-physical entities. Okay, spiritual guidance is key for healing from your unique perspective. Is your way of healing what's good for you. Okay, feelings are an important form of communication from your spiritual guides, one of the most intimate forms. So it's important to develop that relationship with your feelings, to get in tune with it. You can do that through meditation, by grounding. There's various ways to really start getting more in tune to how you feel. So again, work daily on deepening your connection to your spiritual guides. That way you understand better and better each time what is it meant for you to do in order for you to heal. Again, write down your answers in your spiritual journal, okay? So you can keep track of what's happening, your progress. Get additional guidance and clarification as necessary. If you need additional guidance, you're not understanding what your spiritual guides are communicating with you, or you've had so many different responses that you're just like confused on which one is from source, that just ask for clarity. I've received so many answers, I'm really not quite sure which one came from you. Okay, please help me to figure this out, make the signs more obvious to me that I know that it is from you. Okay, now again, there is additional help for you. I do offer spiritual healing retreats in Sedona, Arizona, and I would love for you to come to one of those retreats. It's really about deepening your connection to your source. It's about really having that personal one-on-one conversation with your source. And that's going to be different for everyone, whatever that is. But most people really have a very profound experience, and everyone's experience is different, but it's really, again, it's about, we do exercises where you communicate to your source. We do an exercise where source communicates to you. You ask a question, you quiet your mind. There's a mechanism by which you can do that very rapidly, and you deepen your connection to your source. We do a meditation at a vortex, because Sedona is a spiritual mecca. There's so much spiritual energy in the vortexes that it really helps you to connect more deeply and more easily to your source. Okay, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and contact me. I also have a new book coming out in September called Healing and the Law of Attraction. Of course, spiritual guidance is in there. One of the examples that I gave in this webinar is actually in the book. And I'm really excited about that. It's like really the next level of my teaching. It really outlines our platform and what we are about. And so stay tuned for that. That'll be available on Amazon in October. It'll be available on my website in September, sometime mid-September. So I'm really excited about that. And on Amazon, sometime probably later in October. Okay. We also do offer law of attraction, meditation, and spiritual life coaching. So if you have questions, you need answers, and because you have watched this webinar, you get a 20% discount for that. For a thank you for watching this webinar. And you can find out more information on my website at www.seekwithinyou.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. You can sign up to my newsletter on my website and get up-to-date information on discounts for retreats, webinars, and just advice on law of attraction, meditation, spiritual guidance, healing, the mind, body, and spirit, inspiration, all of that. All right. As always, I am so grateful that you have joined me today. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.